Hey everybody, we're back with the Tuesday night stream with more Skies of Arcadia Legends. We have the new cool stream feature, scene transitions, where our stuff fades in as opposed to just a quick snap, which is quite nice. I'm happy with that. I'm messing with that for like the last hour. Makes us look nicer, it's cool. Slowly but surely we're kind of looking a little more professional. The minute it starts costing me money though, we're going to stop. Spent enough money on this. Okay, how are we doing? We look okay. Alright, let's get into this and play some Skies of Arcadia. I'm tired. I've been tired a lot recently. And we're in the country of, or the continent of Ixa'taka. Hey Bane, how you doing today, buddy? Let's explore this place. Yeah, I want goods. You got goods? Sell me goods. Sell me goods. Well, we're not going to be friends. Where you come to a new continent looking like the people who are oppressing this continent. Everybody hates you. It's not fair. There it is. Nice. Give that to Q-Pill. Oh, I was hoping it'd level up again. Work our way towards Q-Pill's next form. So this section is essentially going to be like pretty much any time you play an RPG that has a bit where you walk into a new village and everybody hates you until you do some plot stuff and then everybody loves you. I debated having one of those when I came in. I debated having one of those when I came in, and I decided against it for various reasons. Hello, children. I'm Batman. I'm Robin. I'm your father. Who are you? Yep. Sweet chocobo. Oof. So this is interesting. Those are definitely not people from Ixa'taka. And this ship has crashed. 25 Sakura crystals, jeez. Why does it feel like that's going to be something I have the option to give back to them? Hello. Yeah, not too bad, a little tired. Where did you come from, Hans? Sentime. I have a feeling he's going to be important. Oh, there you go. That'll be why. If he returns. Well, that was easy. I was worried that was going to take hours. No, I watched it. I wanted to see what Nemesis was going to look like. So I did watch it. Like, they put it forward as, like, the Nemesis trailer. Okay, I saw a door behind us. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. No, it's tragic. Tragic, but what can you do? You know, I was kind of thinking that myself. Until, no, like, did you watch the trailer? Because if you didn't, I don't want to spoil any of the details for you. Oh, that's morbid. Well, let's go find out what we can do then. See if we can have a word with some of the natives about what's going on. Oh, we need to see the elder, don't we? I forgot about that. Alright, here we go. I imagine the elder's somewhere near the top. It looks like a minigun, but it's a flamethrower. That surprised me. Like I say, I was thinking some inspiration from the movie Nemesis as well, until it turned out to be a flamethrower. Which, you know, I'm okay with the flamethrower. The Gatling gun, yeah, I would have been like, but the flamethrower? No, I'm interested. Where does this go? There's a monkey there. Ooh, Moonberry. Does that give me enough for the next super move? Restores 10 MP, that's actually pretty good. Especially if we make Ica the healer. Did it say how much SP it costs? 10. Not too bad, especially for the long boss battles. A good cure like that would be great for something like poison. What about Drachma? Interesting. Go with Lunar Cleansing then. Possibly. The main thing that interested me though more than the flamethrower was his use of the tentacle in combat before he's damaged. Because, you know, in the original he uses the tentacle only after taking major damage at the clock tower. No, I didn't come up here. But I'm looking forward to it. I pre-ordered it on Friday, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. I think I mentioned on Sunday, actually, about that. I forget. Is this where the Elder lives? Nope. Where does this lead? Get in the door. Hello! Okay. Oh, this looks pretty important. And it has a save point. Yes, I would. Thank you. Yeah, it's an interesting feature, and like, even without the flamethrower, it makes Nemesis immediately more dangerous than Mr. X, giving it a long-range attack from the beginning. I'm gonna guess you're the Elder. What can I do you for, friend? The giant. That must be the Gigas. Because Valua. Why else? Oh. There we go. Yeah, we saw the mines on the way in. Low rocks, huh? Of course, moonstones have to be pretty abundant since in every land, since everyone lives under a moon of some kind. Fire-breathing ships. Yeah, it was always his instant kill attack in the original 3. Sacred green stone, that sounds like the moon crystal we'd be after.
Uh-huh.
Interesting that they have an elder and a king. Alright, let's go save the day. After we save the game. First we save the game, then we save the day. Alright, let's go. Anyway, so head north when we leave the village. Hello! Oh, I hear a moonfish. It's gotta be above us then. Yeah, I don't know. Possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 3. There it is. There it is. Another moonfish. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 3. It's not often I pre-order a game. Ixa'taka. Yeah, sure, show me. To the north, the Golden Man. That's got to be a discovery. Paranta seed. hell's a Paranta seed? There it is. Increases power. Sweet. Alright, let's go. See how much of Ixa'taka we can get done today. So we're gonna have to go to the mines at some point. And I remember the mines being a pain. I mentioned this the last stream. The last Skies of Arcadia stream. But once we're done in Ixa'taka, I forget the sequence of events for a lot of stuff. I remember a bunch of stuff, but I forget the order it happens in and when it happens. And I don't want to say too much more because spoilers. Did I go this way? I don't think I did. Where's this lead? It's back to the entrance. Yeah, when she rams a car into Nemesis. It's possible. I'm also honestly kind of looking forward to Resistance now because it's part of the remake. Or because it's included. If it was a standalone game, I wouldn't really care. I'd wait for it to drop in price. Or I'd either wait for it to drop in price, or if it had a leveling system of any kind, then I wouldn't end up bothering with it because I wouldn't want to pay full price. And the problem with multiplayer games that have a leveling system is if you aren't there from the beginning, if you're not there from the beginning and you haven't played it an extensive amount, usually you are outclassed, which is never fun. Like, if you ever play the multiplayer co-op Castlevania game, Harmony of Despair, it's a solid game, but when you play it with other people, if you're playing it online, chances are the other people have way better equipment than you, which means they're doing more damage to enemies than you. And also, usually they've got the boots that increase speed, which is a big problem because it means you end up getting left behind, and all you're doing for the entire thing is just running after everybody else through areas where all the enemies have been killed. And it leads to a less fun game because of that. I've been thinking that myself, actually, Bane. I'm wondering if it's going to be toned down. Because Chief Iron's death in RE2 Make was toned down. But there is also the case of Ben's death was probably more gruesome. So I wonder what they'll be doing with it. Where is this thing? It's gotta be around this area. Somewhere I couldn't get it a minute ago. There we go. Alright, let's climb further up. Oh, you're examining that, not the wall. Yeah, Mr. X got wrecked by Birkin, but, that was an entirely new event. I don't know. In some places, it's been more RE2 makes it more restrained. In others, it really wasn't. So who knows? That said, I imagine they'll definitely keep the tentacle going through Brad's face, because it feels kind of iconic, just like the chest burster does for RE2. That reminds me, did you end up picking up Wild Arms 3 when I told you about it? Hello! Alright, let's go. I want to go back to the weapons merchant since they'll probably sell me something now. And whenever I have a chance to upgrade the weapons, it's always a good idea to. Scum! I could do with some of these. Let's leave it at 10 for now and then see how much we need to buy weapons. Okay, so that's 2 weapons. I was there yesterday and I didn't see it, which is like why I wanted to ask. I thought you might have picked it up. Though it's probably worth going and checking again anyway. Let's see, 2 of these. There's dodge and defense. At least one of these for Fina. Do I want to get one for Ica? Yeah, the defense and magic defense boost is way too good to ignore. At some point, I wouldn't mind trying out the Wild Arms remake, PS2. Save it again, so I don't have to do all the weapon stuff again. Cool. What's it? Wild Arms XF? Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I just missed it, because I'll be honest, I didn't look that hard. Well, that's gotta be it. Like I say, there was some other stuff there that was kind of interesting. That's the theme of the Admirals. Fire-breathing ships. The Loco. Bella's was the 4th Admiral, the Loco's the 5th. Make no mistake, being a lower rank than her doesn't make him any less dangerous. That's going to be a pain to find. Rixus. I think they go back 60 days. Why do you ask? Since I have Twitch Prime, I think it's 60 days. I didn't come here prepared for a ship-to-ship battle. Here we go. I love the ship combat music. I didn't expect to fight them this early. Work this. Hey Professor, how you doing today, buddy? Gotta get prepped for that flame cannon. I like the ship ideas, the ship battles as an idea and as a mechanic. It really mixes up the battles. Giving you battles with a more strategic focus. Similar in somewhat to the larger army battles from Suikoden, I guess. Now, what did you have in mind, Dave? It's definitely bigger than Bella's is. Alright, let's prep for the harpoon cannons next turn. If we can get them both, then we could end this very quickly. Start of the next turn if we can put both of them off. You know what? I'm not sure if that stream ever actually went up to YouTube, actually, now that you mention it. That was less damage than I was expecting. That wasn't bad. doing this wrong, we're going to end up right in the path of that flame cannon. I might have needed to actually attack him. That leaves me with a problem. Change the shadows of the Empire.
Harpoon cannon, fire!
You know, that was probably before we started using the Streamlabs OBS, probably still using the Elgato software as well, which created a lot of problems as it was anyway. This is going to be a big hit. Let's get behind. It's probably going to fire that main cannon at us. There it is. We're still in position. It's going to unload the flame cannon. Get out of the way. Not as bad as I would expect, honestly. Eliza was doing more damage during her turns. Alright. What I want to do is heal. Use Sacred. Use the 3-inch. And guard here. With any luck, we'll be able to pull it off so we can do the 2-turn harpoon cannon and we'll have enough SP for it. If not, this will just go on a little bit longer, but I don't think this guy's a real threat. Based on what we've been dealing with so far, I don't think he's a real threat. He'll be a real threat if I screw this though. God damn it. That harpoon cannon hit. A lot of damage. Didn't get it. Come on, baby. Make my day. Almost. Almost enough. He's going to get another hit of both revolver cannon and flame cannon. I'll have to deal with that. go. Again, with the evasive action on, that's less damage than I was expecting. Let's go all out here. We ought to finish him with this. Line him up and knock him down. There it is. Talk's big game. Had a good amount of defense, but after all that, wasn't actually that much. Attack wasn't much to talk about. Didn't even need to use the magic cannons. Alright, let's use that captain strike. There it is. 13,000, yeah. Is there anything along this shelf? Doesn't look like it. Oh well, let's check this one out. There it is, the golden man. A golden statue that stands quietly as if pointing something out. It is thought to have been placed here to protect the sacred land. Male statues are often found in temples and other buildings, while female statues are found near holy lakes and trees. There it is. Hideout. Yes, I did. We need the green moon crystal. Ah, you mean the Kokiri's emerald. Lost City of Roxas. Another dungeon. Pure gold. And where is he? Yeah, let's go save Ixa'taka and nobody else. It does beg the question of, their people are being held as slaves. We need one of them. And it begs the question of, would we go to save any of them if we didn't need them? Food for thought. Yeah. Probably decided it was too dangerous otherwise or something to justify it to ourselves. Alright, let's get out. Alright, south of the village. We already saw that last stream actually. We couldn't actually do anything with it. Oh, sweet. Capital. I feel like we're going to find this anyway, actually. As part of the story. This has got to be Rixus. Fair enough, foam dome. Place in Nasir where the ground is littered with stars. Check any island that people seem to avoid. Place where the winds are really strong, something strange spinning around. That's got to be the ocean, the South Ocean. And we have Ixa'taka. We just sold information about the continent of Ixa'taka to somebody who is in the continent of Ixa'taka. Figure that out. Alright, let's see how this goes. 5-inch cannon. Buy 2 of these. Replace the 3-inch. G-tab cannon is also probably a good idea. The issue you have here is, though, the secondary cannons are more powerful than the main cannons. Buy one of these. Put it here. I'll buy a G-type cannon and put it here. Oh, I didn't know we had that. I don't even remember where we got it. Searching for Ixa'taka Palace. Mine shouldn't be too hard to find. We already found it. Where's the where's my map? Is Ixa'taka? Is it this area? There it is. Alright, here we go. Well, that went pretty well.
We did it!
Incram, yeah. Onwards. Oh, it's just a shot. Moonstone Mountain. What a mountain. I don't like how it stopped me and took control there when the camera changed. Oh hey, look. LD'd shut though. But yeah, no, they're serious about keeping the Ixa'takans in. So they welded this gate shut. But there's not anything stopping them from getting over the fence. Right, the fence isn't even that tall. Yeah, save the game. No, wrong button. Alright, let's go. Oh, I remember really not liking this dungeon. Oh well, look who it is. I'm pretty good at defeating security. Yeah, you know, I kinda doubt that. Well, the long-awaited return of Alfonso. You know, maybe there's a problem in having some of your admirals be incredibly prideful. You see, what I do is I look at things logically and think how stupid everybody else is in video games. Because generally video game characters are stupid. The unfortunate thing is, though, that extends to the player characters as well. Now we're trapped because we stood on this obvious switch that you have no way of avoiding. Alright, let's get going. You ever feel like you're being led somewhere? Another champ. I hope this boosts the strength of Q-Pill, because probably could need it. Damn it. Wonder how many more it's gonna take. Wonder where this goes. Weird. Pretty much, but... Now, we don't have Cowardly Dog with... Oh, jeez, that's horrifying. Everybody, focus your attacks.
Yeah.
They do a decent amount of damage, and they take a decent amount of damage from the looks of it. This could be troublesome.
Over there.
This is what the standard enemy's like around here. I might need to do some grinding. Yeah, it's reasonable, I guess. Alright, Drachma, finish it. End this.
Over there. We did it!
For a random encounter, that did a lot more damage than I would have liked. Oh, that's something I'd forgotten. The trapdoors that drop you into minecarts that lead you right back to here.
Over there.
Come on, everybody get into position for Ika's Alpha Storm.
Back on! Alpha Storm!
Looks like it should hit everybody. Awesome. That's less trouble to deal with. End this. I wonder if this is going to be one of those dungeons that has a resting point. I saw it over the weekend, and it's pretty cool. Built from a Wavebird controller, which I've been debating looking into picking one up anyway, just for the wireless function, but I've just not. Partly because of price, more than anything, I guess. But, like, Nintendo really could do with more comfortable Joy-Cons, because holding the Switch in handheld mode is not comfortable for an extended period. The Switch is one of the heaviest handhelds I've ever played. It's possible something like the Game Gear or the Lynx might be around the same weight. But you also have a better grip on those. The way the Switch is designed for you to hold it is not comfortable. It really weighs on the fingers very quickly. The way you have to hold it. I think the Wii U gamepad was more comfortable to hold. Okay, come on, Ica, do Do the attack. There we go. Think how much trouble we could have saved if we'd done that from the beginning, Micah.
Ready?
Although, when you say, you wish Nintendo would do something similar to a modern GameCube Switch, do you mean the controls or GameCube stuff on Switch? Huh. Well, these guys are gonna run. There it is.
Over there.
Nice. And Darth Storm should hit.
Back off.
And it did nothing. Wonderful. Nice. Actual hit.
That wasn't so bad.
Yeah, GameCube stuff on a more modern system would be great. It was the big hope everybody had when Nintendo Nintendo put out an update for the Switch early on in its life that gave the Switch compatibility with GameCube controller via the GameCube adapter that Nintendo put out for the Wii U for Smash. And people were really hoping that that would lead to GameCube stuff. And then Nintendo came out and said, no, that was an accident. Okay, which means this is the way forward. Which was really disappointing. And there's the NES stuff they put on there. A year after they started putting the NES stuff on there, and it's still a very bare library. They've got the Super Nintendo stuff on there now. And again, a bare library.
Over there.
Well, that's one of the things. Being able to play your old discs is always a positive. It's one of my favourite things about the Xbox One backwards compatibility. You can play them off the old discs, which is great because the old discs go for way cheaper than buying them digital. But having the option of both is fantastic. Being able to grab them digital is great. Digital and physical is great. A copy of Modern Warfare
That was a close one.
on Xbox 360 goes for really cheap physical. It's not a hard game to find, it goes cheap. Digital, Activision wants like 20 quid for it. So, you know, great that you can use the discs. But on the other hand, digital does have its benefits. On. Cupid sword, nice. Okay, so there's that way, but then what's down there? Let's go find out. really the thing I'm hoping with the PS5, not only that, because we know it's going to be backwards compatible with PS4. There's the rumours it'll be backwards compatible with PS1, 2 and 3. If it is, I really hope that it carries over purchases you've made previously. Well, what's the best idea for this? Probably this one, isn't it? Oh, right now they moved. I really hope that it carries stuff over, because I've got a bunch of PS1 games I've bought digitally over the years. I started buying them digital because I wanted to play them on my Vita. And I've got a bunch. Plus, make them capable of playing from disc. Because otherwise, like, what's the point? It's one of the worst things about the PS2 stuff on PS4. It doesn't carry over from PS3, so if you bought it for PS3, it doesn't matter, you gotta buy it again. And you can't use your discs. It's like, well, that's great, isn't it? Red Alert's interesting. It's one of the PS1 games that isn't compatible with Vita for some reason. You can play it on PSP, you can play it on PS3, you can't play it on Vita. Same with the original Command & Conquer as well. Awesome. What is this way? I'm gonna burn through those sacred crystals, I can feel it. An elevator. Of course. Alright, let's go. I've actually been considering some of the Command & Conquers for the stream. On PC. Do I still have Tiberium's Sun on PC? I'm not sure. I've got 3 Kane's up. I've got 3 Kane's Wrath, Red Alert 3, Uprising, and 4 on Steam. And the only reason I have Command & Conquer 4 is because it was cheaper to buy the Command & Conquer bundle, which came with 3 Red Alert 3, Kane's Wrath, Uprising, and 4, than it was to buy the 3 Kane's Wrath, Red Alert 3, and Uprising separate. You know, that'll be an interesting thing, because if the PS5 is backwards compatible with the PS3 stuff, it would be a good reason to support PS3 the PS3 store.
Back off!
Yeah, this could take a while. But it's a good point. You do end up with the case, though, of once PS3 support ends, you end up with the question of why not try and hack the system? It's a case with the PSP. Once the PS3 ends, there'll be no way other than... Once the PS3 support ends, there'll be no way to put stuff on PSP anymore. Hey, Clem. What do you mean here too? You don't know, I want to kill one of these things. It's too standard a line for me to immediately identify it as a quote. I'm sorry, I can't explain. Well, there you are. Ready to see us go through the dungeon I've been talking about for the last few sessions. You live on the east coast? Eastern US, so you're like 5 hours behind us? Yeah, it's 5 hours. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah, once that happens, it really does become a case of you might as well hack your system. Once official support for it ends. It's not something we really like to talk about, but once it ends, what else is there to do? And we live with the unfortunate implication that once official support ends for the PS3, the 360 might go on a little bit longer because of the backwards compatibility that Microsoft is pushing. But once it ends for the PS3, you end up with a case of updates not being available anymore, and DLC not being available anymore. Is that the Rebecca line that she shouts at the elevator near the end? I always thought that line was funny, not just because of the delivery, but because it's like, look at those monsters, and they specifically don't show you the monsters because the engine can't render them. I mean, Resident Evil 1 could have, at most, like, what, 3, 4 zombies on screen at any one time? Tell you what though, the only real mod I ever want is the handheld Wii. Have you ever seen those online? Okay, so that one seems fine. Well, the Proto-Tyrant didn't exist at that point. Okay, so this happened. The Loco mail. Yeah, that's pretty good. A suit of armor designed to protect the wearer from enemy attacks. Think about that for a minute. Oh great, we're going back. And there's no way to prevent that. Well, I guess we had to see it at least once. Yeah, like the console mod I really want now is the handheld Wii. Have you ever seen those? Like, look them up online, the portable Wii. Like, I used to be really after the portable GameCube mods that you can see people do online. But then the portable Wii started happening, and the portable Wii is like a better version. Because The GameCube can play GameCube games. The Wii... The Wii can play GameCube, Wii games, plus Virtual Console games, and then you can do emulation on top of that. But just the idea of like portable GameCube games has been something I've wanted for years now. If only I was good with hardware. If only I had the room to try and work on that. As it is, I'm a software guy.
Serves up right.
Seriously, if you've never seen it, look up the portable Wii stuff. It's fantastic. I'd love the idea of playing a game like this portable, but the save points are too far between to really do it. But Wind Waker portable would be good. Okay, so it's the left one. And I'm pretty sure this is why I hate this dungeon. Oh, this is going to be nasty. Oh yeah, the first time I got my PSP and I was able to play PS1 games portable, because the first game I played on there portable was Final Fantasy VII. This was the first game I had the chance to play, and it was a revelation for me to be able to play these PS1 games that I loved portable. And the two specifically that I remember being so psyched about: Final Fantasy VII, because it was the first one I could do, the first one I had a chance to play portable, and I like 7, and Metal Gear Solid. And there was a similar kind of, oh, this is so cool, when I got the Vita, because there was Persona 4 Golden, which is like Persona 4, a game I love. Being able to play it, not just play it on the go, but have an enhanced version of it was amazing. And then there was stuff like the Metal Gear Solid Metal Gear Solid 2. Ooh. Metal Gear Solid 2 on the go. And 3. Yeah, I've heard Final Fantasy 7's okay. You drop your PSP down a flight stairs. I've always been concerned about stuff like that, so ever since my DS, I've always had cases for my handhelds. It's not like I ever had a habit of dropping stuff, but like ever since my DS, when the system started to get more expensive, I've had cases for my stuff just in case. Ha ha ha, pun. There's even now though, when I still love the idea of portables, I just don't play them as much anymore. But even now, the idea of playing some of this stuff portable is brilliant to me. And it's the interesting thing, I might have mentioned this in a recent stream, but there is a company in China that is doing like mass production portable PS2s, and they are not emulation devices, they're built off PS2s. The PS2s cut down, put in a case with screen, the battery, speakers, all that stuff, and you play the games off USB stick. And it's a really cool idea. And the PS2 has so much worth playing on it. This one. Yeah, it is. But I don't know what it is. The idea of a portable PS2 just doesn't excite me the same way that a portable GameCube does. No, the Street PSP isn't Wi-Fi compatible. It has no multiplayer capability, even local. And it also only has one speaker. It's mono, for some reason. Why is there a ladder down here? And it was only released in Europe. And late last year, actually, because the PSP Street, the E1000, was the last PSP to be hacked, to be able to be permanently hacked. And late last year, I think it was November, they finally cracked it, and you can permanently hack every PSP now. Previously, it was a case of you can hack it, but you have to rehack it every time you turn it off. Oh yeah, they all move after I've set up Alpha Storm.
Back off! Alpha Storm!
You know, I was never into the PSP Street. I get the appeal of the matte finish, because let's be fair, glossy, I really wish companies would stop making stuff glossy. Like, the Wii U Pro Controller is glossy, and it's horrible because there are immediately fingerprints everywhere. Like, the matte finish is a nice feature. But beyond that, I don't really like the design of it. Is that the one you've got, Bane? The street? Uh-oh. The war Sony's got with hackers is ridiculous. Because they dropped support for the Vita years ago. But every time the Vita gets hacked, they keep throwing out an update for it. Crazy.
Yeah!
It's a system they stopped caring about years ago. They dropped support for it. They haven't put games out for it in years. But they're still trying to fight the hacks. And it's like, either support your system or stop trying to fight the hacks. Right, so you're currently on the street. Did you ever think about picking up a PSP Go? Well, you can get them not that expensive right now. Right, where am I going? This one. It's like the Go has the nice form factor, the slide, the pause game function, which, as far as I can tell, was very rarely advertised. Because you get the PSP Go and hello. You get the PSP Go and it has a pause game feature that essentially save states the game. Send time. And you can then turn the system off and then turn it back on and resume the game where you save stated it. And it's a great feature, and I didn't know about it until I had a PSP Go. And it's something that really should have been advertised more. Yeah, my PSP Go is still good. Well, I think the pause game feature is best for playing PS1 games on the go. Although there are some PSP games that really don't do well with the saves. And the save points are too few and far between for portable games, really. Valkyrie Profile Lenneth has a problem with that.
Yay!
It's a portable game, but the save points are way too spread out. But in the case of the PS1 games were never intended to be played portable, so, you know, pause game feature's great for that. Not every game can be like Metal Gear Solid. Wonder where this goes.
Over there!
Love it when they counter-attack.
Back off! Alpha Storm!
I got my brother a PSP Go for Christmas. I think it was a little over £50. It wasn't too expensive. It comes with 16 gig of flash memory, by which it really means like 14 gig of flash memory.
Here goes!
There is the issue of it being all digital, but if you're willing to hack it, then that's no longer a problem. Because it's the only way you're going to play Crisis Core on there. Oh god, Square re-released Crisis Core.
That was fun!
I need to get to Dirge of Cerberus so we can get to Crisis Core. It's a long time since I played that and I want to replay it. I'll see. Bigger. The Go's a nice option. Nice and compact. Where this goes. Love it when they counter-attack. Speaking of the Go, I actually, last week I think it was, ordered a new case for my Go. An aluminium protective case for it that I'd seen on Reddit, on the PSP subreddit, and it looked really nice. I've been considering buying it for a while. The main thing that put me off is it comes from China. But I caved and bought it last week. When it arrives, I'll let you know what I think of it, if I remember. Yeah, I really want to play Crisis Core. I had a friend who was just getting rid of his PSP games when I got a PSP. He just gave me Crisis Core. I was like, sweet, thanks. And then I played Crisis Core. And it was good. Clem, you haven't played Crisis Core, have you? It was you though. I was talking to that hadn't played Crisis Core, right? Oh, that reminds me, Bane, did you hear that Final Fantasy VII Remake has been delayed?
Over there.
Along with that Avengers game that nobody I ever talked to cares about.
Take this!
We did it.
I wonder about that. This Crisis Core works really well on PSP, but I imagine that Dirge Cerberus wouldn't. I should probably switch my Moonstones, actually. That might be that might be giving me a problem. Since we're fighting Valuans. Yeah, they've delayed it by like a month to add some extra polish, they say. And my question really is, what extra polish are you getting into a game in a month? Especially these days. And it reminds me of when they delayed Final Fantasy 15. They made the big hullabaloo of the announcement of the release date for Final Fantasy 15. Like, oh, here's the day we're going to announce the release date for Final Fantasy 15. It was the first time I'd ever heard of anything like that. And then we get to that date and they announce it. And then we get closer to the date they've announced as being the release for 15. And they delay it by, like, 2 months. And it's like, well, what was the point of the build-up to the actual announcement then? It was really stupid. And they said the whole thing was to, add the day one patch for 15 onto the disc. And then 15 came out with a day one patch anyway. And it turned out the game wasn't finished because they kept adding to the story with updates. Honestly, it's one of those things that makes me glad I'm not interested in the remake, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, until more of it is out. But it's not even a competition in April. It's Resident Evil 3 for me. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see the announcement of Devil May Cry 3 is getting ported to the Switch, like 1 and 2 did, but they're adding something extra to the Switch port of Devil May Cry 3. Did you hear about that? Well, it's just a vote when it comes to 7. You know, I really like the original Final Fantasy 7. But I'm never so fanatical to anything that I'll just jump into a new game without any reservations like that. If the game wasn't coming out in parts, I'd be more interested. I'd probably be interested in picking it up on release date if it wasn't coming out in parts. As it is, I'm not interested until more of it's out. Oh, they're awkwardly placed. No, if you've played Devil May Cry 4 or 5, Dante has a style change system. Just 3 introduce the styles, Trickster, Swordmaster, Gunslinger, Royal Guard, but you could only change them at the start of missions or at the Goddess of Time statues. 4 introduced the ability to change them on the fly.
Here goes!
And they're adding that to the Switch version of 3. And I'm really hoping they're going to put it into the PS4 HD version of 3. Because it's a good idea. And Devil May Cry 3 Dante is probably the best Dante to play as. Because you don't get much time with Dante in Devil May Cry 4. You get a lot of mechanics thrown at you. You get a lot of weapons thrown at you in the space of like 8 missions. And Devil May Cry 5 Dante, I was never fond of the weapons he gets. I was never really fond of the weapons, and again, you spend a lot of the game not playing as Dante. Don't get me wrong, I love the way Nero plays in 5. It's great. But for Dante, he was best in 3. Yeah. Glad you agree, Clem. And I feel like that's because it was Dante's game. Ooh. While Devil May Cry... Devil May Cry 4 was Nero's game that happened to have a bit of Dante in it. And Devil May Cry 5 is still mostly Nero's game. It's just that Nero's better in 5 than he was in 4. But adding the style change system to 3 is a great idea. Especially since there's more I can do with 3. But I never really learned Dante in 4 because you spend so little time with him. The only weapons I ever bothered to learn were the Rebellion and Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh was the punching weapon. I never learned Pandora, I never learned Lucifer, and I barely used Yamato. And you have a similar problem with Devil May Cry 5. For the most part, I was using the main sword and the Balrog, which was the punching weapon. I barely used the Cerberus weapon in that game. And the Cavalier weapon is also a weapon I don't really use. Meanwhile, in Devil May Cry 3, make use out of the Rebellion, the Cerberus, Agni and Ruja is a weapon I really like to use. I use more of the guns in that, so actually having... Gunslinger is a worthless style, though. On its own, it's a worthless style because you don't do enough out of it. So, committing yourself to Gunslinger for an entire level isn't worth it. But if you could switch to it on the fly, Gunslinger becomes way more useful. That room has spikes on the ceiling. God, why am I getting Resident Evil 4 flashbacks? Well, that's the thing. In Devil May Cry 3, originally, you couldn't switch styles in the main game. You had to do it either at the menu or the Goddess of Time statues. Yeah, if I could ever avoid it, I wasn't using V. I'm sure someone out there likes playing as V. Wasn't for me. Oh, a save point in the middle of the dungeon in a completely inconspicuous area. I wonder, is a boss fight going to happen now? And with 3, I end up with the problem of Trickster's great for dodging, especially the iframes it gets. But Swordmaster just massively boosts your versatility with combos. I think part of the problem with V is you still need to do the inputs as if you're right there doing the stuff, right there doing the attacks yourself, but you're not.
Good.
And so it really feels weird compared to how everything else works. I've never really been a Royal Guard kind of guy. And that's probably largely because you have to commit to it hard in Devil May Cry 3. Oh, here's trouble. Mm-hmm.
Dispose of them.
Yeah, remember Antonio, the bull monster he set against us? That was the first boss. There's the second one. It looks lightning based. It looks like it's going to be lightning based. What's good against lightning? Ice, maybe? That's right, Professor. Bullfight. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a red cake. Okay, I need to remember somebody. Fina doing 108. Missed it. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Good thing I bought those Rising crystals. 50% chance again. Eat that as a mechanic. In Dragon Quest, I hate it here. You shouldn't have a percentage based chance of reviving a party member.
Let's try this.
Is it gonna work? No. That's a waste of a turn. And so all we can do is try again.
Let's try this.
Still didn't work. And this is going to hit both Fina and Rice. And we end up with kind of, as much as I love this game, we end up with a similar problem to what Final Fantasy 13 has, with attacks that work off specific areas you're in. So a big attack can hit multiple characters if they're close together, but you have no control over where your characters are standing. And it's a problem 13 has.
Here goes!
It's a problem this game has.
Let's try this.
Okay, round 3. There we go. Yeah, for the most part, this fight is pretty much the same as the first one. Like, it's literally the first boss fight again. We have Sakura crystals, we have 4 Sakuras. Attack. Heal Drachma, heal Ice, and Tackle.
Let's try this.
It's probably not enough to justify the extra 3 SP it costs on the Cutlass Fury.
Let's try this.
The upturn of the music. Let's get pumped. It's like, I love this game and I don't like complaining about it, but the way the revival works is bad.
Let's try this.
Oh yeah, many times. Many times. At some point I want to play a Matrix game, actually.
Take this!
Nice. Always appreciate a crit.
Here goes.
Hopefully this will finish it. Nasty.
Over there.
You know, if Drachma attacks before it does. Nope. Could have saved me some problems. But there it is. Antonio 2.
We won! We won!
To be fair, I think Antonio 2 might be the only palette swap boss. But I could be forgetting something.
No!
Ooh.
Oh, that works out. Our buddy that we rescued earlier. Huh. Oh, if only I could kick him a few times. Like I say, you know, the angry midget, the spike ceiling, really does give you RE4 flashbacks. Hey, buddy. Thanks for breaking those traps for me.
Hello.
All's well that ends well. Where does this lead? Oh, this is the locked door from the start. We end up with the case of we've saved 2 people and not actually rescued any of the slaves. And that feels kind of like man dark. Oh jeez. Yeah, like we've rescued none of the slaves. We're just gonna leave them. That's it. So long. I hope you don't die from all this excessive manual labour and the poor conditions you're being forced into. I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah. That reminds me, we've got some moonberries. Rain of Swords. Okay, so it should be to the north. There's it. Alright, so these are definitely the plant monsters, so let's switch back to fire. Nice. I think everything's working out. Now we're gonna have to go to that lost city. I can feel it. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at Rain of Swords. There we go. Pretty neat. It's expensive, but it's pretty neat.
Yeah!
Alright, where are we going? Where's the king's house? Over? Am I lost? Might be lost. Where am I? There's the king's house, to the east. Oh yeah, Fina was injured. Cast Sacred and then have Ica and Alpha Storm there, we might be able to hit 4 of them. There we go. Yeah, did a decent amount, I guess. Oh, now she's asleep.
Moons, give me strength.
Having a case of healing spells and healing items that heal specific amounts is kind of interesting. Like, it's not uncommon with items to always heal a specific amount, but healing spells that heal specific amounts is interesting. Just kill him. I think we had cast Sakura. Sakura would have done it. Oh, well, no. Oh, good. I was worried this was going to get a little more complicated. Nice. Yeah, Sakura definitely would have done it. Sakura's was overkill. Finish it. Yeah. Victory. Oh, let's go to the king's house. There it is. What's with that net? Where does that lead? Here. Is that where the lure came from? And they set that net up to prevent others from going there? Anyway, back at the king's hideout. We saved the day again. Because we're just that cool. I don't think I'm playing anything at the minute, actually. Since I finished God of War, Dad of Boy. Not really started anything. When I've been playing games more recently, I've been focused on recording again. Great bird with its wings spread and kneeling golden mantle open the way. Sounds like I need to find 2 discoveries. But yeah, I'm between games at the minute. Like I said previously to you, Bane, I'm trying to avoid RPGs at the minute, but at some point I'm going to end up giving in and starting Fire Emblem 3 Houses. But I've heard like a single playthrough that's like 80 hours. Which is excessive by Fire Emblem standards. I don't know if a turn-based RPG is going to hold my interest that long, but the Officer Academy stuff sounds really interesting. But in the meantime, I'm not entirely sure. I've got a bunch of stuff I've been thinking of for the stream. Like Splinter Cell, we've got the Castlevania Marathon coming up. Once we're done with the current RPGs. Well, there's a bunch of stuff I'm thinking about for the stream, but personally I'm not playing anything at the minute. I need to go through my collection and decide on something. Alright, so we need to find the bird with its spread wings, because we found the golden men. Do we have anything about that? So this is clearly pointing somewhere, which suggests that the bird with its spread wings is elsewhere, pointing again, also pointing in a direction. And the two lines intersect, and that's where Rixus is. Oh, they're big.
Here goes!
They look pretty tough as well. I could do with stopping off the village though and going to the inn. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next. Oh boy. Come on. Everybody, damn it. Yeah, I need to go through my collection and make a decision. Yeah, I got the Xbox One set up at the minute, so probably something on there, which could be a lot of things, actually. I love the super moves in this game, they're so cool. I started Fable 2 at one point, after I got my 360, because I did quite enjoy the original Fable. And I did start Fable 2, and it bored the hell out of me. I was playing through the game, pushing through to get to the end, and then I stopped when the game decided I needed to have more renown to continue the story, which meant I had to do a load of side quests, and I was like, no. So I never finished Fable 2. I tried going through Fable Anniversary since then, and I got really bored of that very quickly. I mean, Fable Anniversary is a game that I do want to go through for the stream at some point. And then maybe do Fable 2 at some point as well. But it's going to be... It's not a high priority, honestly. Maybe for the channel. Push through it for the channel. Where is Ixa'taka? To the west. To the east. There it is. Yeah, it's kind of a shame, because I did really enjoy Fable when I was younger. It's one of those games that just hasn't held up for me. Alright, what's the best way to the village chief? I have no idea. Actually, do any of these people know about the bird? I kind of doubt they know that the bird is the word. And I only said that because it felt obligatory and will not mention it again. Oh, I didn't go down here earlier. Oh, I did. This leads to the Elder's cabin. Elder's hut. Where the Elder is. Yeah, I will say though, I've been considering playing Vampire for the channel. I played that last year. At some point, I think it was earlier in the year. And I did kind of enjoy it. What are you testing, Bane? Elder, do you know where the bird is? Nope, the others are all still in the mine. Left in there. The guy with the good eyes, he might know. He might have told me earlier, actually, and I forgot. He told us about a possible discovery, and I don't remember what it was. Vampire was a game I did quite enjoy. It was an interesting game with good ideas. The lore and the setting were pretty well realised. Combat wasn't great, and considering I did a no-kill run, which meant I was weaker than... well, a no blood drinking run, which meant I was weaker than normal. The combat was even worse for me. But overall, I enjoyed it as like not like a AAA game, but like maybe a AA game. Yeah, that is a thing, Professor. If you type anything that has the exclamation mark at the front, it's not going to pop up on the screen. But whatever you were putting previously, though, Bane, didn't show up in my chat. So I don't know what you've put. It's not showed up in my chat. It's not showed up in the chat bot. Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna play the game, you probably are better off playing on the story mode, which lowers the difficulty of the combat. Golden Man to the north. That's what it told me about, isn't it? That's why I was looking for the Golden Man. Yeah. So that's not gotten me anywhere. Yeah, Vampire was alright. It felt like one of those mid-level games that doesn't have the absurd budget that AAA stuff has. That was fine. It was a little quirky. It wasn't as refined as a lot of the AAA stuff is supposed to be. But it was an enjoyable experience that was pretty different, and it's something I wish we had more of. I mean, hell, I've finished the game. There's a lot of games I can't say that about. I feel like nobody here is going to know where the bird is. Voice acting was pretty decent. It's what helped bring the world to life, definitely. What were your Breath of Fire and Spyro comments, Bane? I imagine you've still got them on your side, but they didn't pop up in any of my chats. Alright, let's figure this out. Let's actually save it since I healed. I'd rather not have to navigate the village again. Yeah, you didn't see them either, Professor. But yeah, the voice acting was pretty solid. It's one of those things that really helps draw you into the world of it. And it works. The biggest problem is the combat is kind of sloppy, and the it feels a little bit buggy. Yeah, they're in your chat screen, like copy and paste them, so we can see what they were, and I'll have an answer for you. imagine this bird is probably on the ground somewhere. There it is. The wings and tail of the great bird are said to indicate the equinoxes of the ancient Ixa'taka and Verdiluna. I was thinking there was a C in there for some reason. I was going to say verdicular. Verdiluna calendar. Figures of other animals once dotted the plain, but they have been swallowed by the expanding forest, leaving only the bird. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going through some of the Breath of Fire games. Spyro, the Spyro series, I did Spyro 2 for, no, I did Spyro 1 for the channel. I want to go and do Spyro 2 at some point, but I want to give it a lot more time before I do. The Spyro 2 was my favourite of the series when I went through them. I felt like it was more refined than Spyro 1, more expansive, did better. But it wasn't as bloated as Spyro Year of the Dragon was. Yeah, Breath of Fire I need to get to. I'm kind of hesitant about doing the first two because of the state of the translation, especially with the second game. Where's that black market shit? There it is. The hidden capital, which we're pretty sure we're going to go and find. Anything new on the wanted list? Gordo the Round. Pirate who'll do anything with food. An air pirate that only attacks ships carrying food cargo in the North Ocean area. He has taken a liking to the spice trade between Valuans and Ixa'taka. Valuans is not capitalized there. Learning from his chefs, he uses fire to not only cook his meals but his opponents as well. Honestly, if I'm going to go and play Breath of Fire, it's probably going to be 3. And then work my way to 4. What is that? Grixis. Huge stone face that stands quietly, buried deep in the forest of Ixa'taka. The stones have been fitted so tightly together that not even an insect can crawl between them. It is a remnant of an ancient civilization. But yeah, like, my concern with Breath of Fire 1 and especially 2 is the state of the translations. So, with Breath of Fire, I may just go straight to 3. And Bane suggests... I was trying 3 on PSP, the PSP remake, and I just wasn't getting into it. And Bane suggested that I just do the original version on PS1 instead, which I've been meaning to get to. Hope that was right. Yeah, it was. Nice. Now the question becomes, are we going to finish this dungeon before we call it a session? Call an end to the session. Oh wow, I didn't expect it to go up. I thought it'd be going down. Hmm. What an interesting place. City of Mists. We're on an island in above the clouds. Frozen in time. The crater's the remnants of the rains of destruction. There's somebody here? You know what? The facial expressions, limited as they are, do a great job of really showing what the character's supposed to be feeling. Aren't all the first 4 Breath of Fighters all set in the same timeline, just at various points? I don't know whether Dragon Quarter takes place in the same timeline. It's fascinating stuff, I guess. You know, why am I feeling that this place is going to be like the Temple of the Ancients? If this place is above the clouds, that would explain why nobody had found it. Oh, I guess going this way. I guess there are still monsters. Huh. Oh, look. Life-based. No, let's do Lambda Burst instead.
Fire consume my enemies! Lambda burst!
They went down a lot easier than I thought they would. Maybe it's like the Zelda series. And there'd be more chances to connect the games up on a timeline if there were more of them. Because the Zelda series timeline is stupid and confusing, and something I prefer not to actually really try and think about much. The main exception with that, to me, is Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, and the games that connect to those. That's about the extent of my interest in the timeline. Yeah, might as well do another lambda burst.
Fire consume my enemies! Lambda burst!
Nice. Totally worth it. Need to determine whether Lambda Burst does more damage than Alpha Storm.
That was fun!
Well, it's all working out for us. Everything is once again coming up Millhouse. Well, the last time I said that, and it was because everything was going wrong. Alright, what do we just get? Attacks against sleep would be really nice. Blue magic, not yet though. Oh, it reminds me, I want to get to the Legacy of Kain series soon for the stream. But I feel like streaming is the only way Blood Omen's really going to work. That was interesting. I'll get to Breath of Fire at some point. But after we're done with Skies of Arcadia and Final Fantasy VIII, I kind of want to take a break from RPGs for a while.
Yeah!
Can you use the Millhouse analogy? Oh no! Everything's coming up Millhouse! Oh, Nemi-chan. I find the idea of calling Nemesis Nemi-chan to be hilarious. Oh, that'll make up for those 3 risen crystals we used trying to revive Aika in the Antonio 2 fight. Because that wasn't painful. No, I'm not bitter. What are you talking about? Did I finish my team? Yeah, no. You know, the fact that it does enough damage to kill all the enemies like this, the fact that it hits every enemy.
We did it!
And the fact that Aika is fast enough to usually take the first turn. Great. Wonderful. Love it. I'm telling you, I'm not stars. I don't care. That's still one of my favourite random bits The Simpsons ever did. Just that random fugitive bit. Oh well, I guess going at the first person doesn't work as a camera reset. Oh, that's a big one.
Here goes!
I hope this works out. Oh dear. Because that did a bunch of damage, and he's got that much health.
Over there!
Oh, this could be dangerous. Counter attack, counter attack. Nice. Alright, so everyone can focus on the big guy this turn. It's a sloth. Sloth strip. Oh, wonderful. Thena's paralysed. hope this goes well. Come on, Drachma, finish it. Oh, it's not going to finish it with that kind of damage. Just doesn't like Fina. Nope. Do it. Paralysis.
Over there!
Like, I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but like, there are a lot of status effects in RPGs that I hate.
Here goes!
Paralysis is right near the top.
That wasn't
Of
so
the most
bad.
hated status effects in RPGs, paralysis is like right near the top. Alright, on to the other side. Is there a way down from that side? One of them survived, that's not right. Finish it. Yeah, I want to do Legacy Arcadia series, and I feel like Blood
That was
Omen
easy.
will work way better as a stream than an LP. Right, that is the way forward. You know why I missed that? Because of the camera. Oh, great.
Here goes!
Petrification's irritating, especially since if everybody's petrified, it counts as a game over. Because it's a status effect that doesn't wear off. Ouch.
I'm so sorry.
Iris is going to hit everybody as well, isn't it? Yep. That means somebody is going to have to try and revive Fina. And you attack that thing again. Order of release. Chronological order would not work in Legacy Arcadia's
Let's
case.
try this!
It's not worked. Wonderful. I hate this. It's awful. Yeah, chronological order doesn't work with Legacy Arcadian games because the earliest periods in the games are part of Soul Reaver 2 happens earliest. Unless you're speaking about specifically following the characters in their chronological order, in which case it'd be Blood Omen 1, 2, Soul Reaver 2, Defiance. And that doesn't work because Blood Omen 2 doesn't exist until after the events of Soul Reaver 2, which changes things in such a manner that Blood Omen 2 is a result of it. Yeah, this would be going a lot better if the revival mechanic wasn't chance-based.
Let's try this.
Still nothing. It's 3 turns. And it's dead.
Is it over already?
It's 3 risen crystals wasted. I love this game, but it's a bad mechanic. But yeah, it'd be release order. It'd be Blood Omen, Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, Defiance. But it wouldn't be like a marathon. Stonecutter, that is a weapon for Vice, I think. Nice. Who holds back the electric car? Who makes Steve Gutenberg a star? We do. We do. Soul Reaver 2 has definitely better puzzles than the first Soul Reaver does. Soul Reaver 1 is all about block pushing puzzles, and to its credit, it has a wide variety of block pushing puzzles. But they're all block pushing puzzles, and it gets tiresome. And I don't need more complicated block pushing puzzles. Soul Reaver 2, Soul Reaver 2 is really good. It streamlines a lot of the more unfocused aspects of Soul Reaver. And Soul Reaver 2 is where the story that I love Legacy of Kain for really hit. Because Blood Omen is very story focused, there's a lot of detail in its story and its world building, and it's great. But it's focused on itself because it was the only thing that existed. Soul Reaver... Okay, the camera shifted there on its own. Soul Reaver doesn't really have much in the way of story. This is how this place used to be this way until Kain's Empire ruined it. And that's kind of the extent of the story in Soul Reaver. There's not much to it. Soul Reaver 2 is where the story really started to hit on the multiple levels that I really love the Legacy of Kain series for.
Here goes!
With the time travel mechanic and the expansion of Raziel's role, and the introduction of the Hilden as a threat, as like the antithesis to the vampires. The expansion of the Sarafan. It's where the series really starts to come together for me in terms of its story. It pulls all these different ideas and unconnected plot points together into a really solid, cohesive mass, and it's great. I love it. Gameplay wise, Blood Omen 2 is my favourite.
That was easy.
And we get to the Legacy of Kain series. We'll do Blood Omen on the PS1 because there's no other way to play it these days. The PC version was never re-released for some reason. I don't know why. I've got the Legacy of Kain collection on PC. It came with Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, Defiance, and Nosgoth, the MOBA that never left beta and was shut down years ago. So it's like, what? Oh hey, we're back at the start. Are we? We're near the start, okay. Cool, that works. So Blood Omen on PlayStation, Soul Reaver on PlayStation as well. Because last year we did do a stream of Soul Reaver on Dreamcast, and it's kind of neat. But it makes some sacrifices in the control department that I wasn't overly happy about. It controls better on PlayStation. The Dreamcast has less buttons than the PlayStation does, so it doesn't work as well when it was designed for PlayStation. So do PlayStation version of Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver 2 has to be on PlayStation 2, unless I decide to do it on PC, which is unlikely. And very much the same with Defiance. Although Defiance does have the option of Xbox, I have it on PS2. GameCube will get some representation with Blood Omen 2, which is what I own it for. We did do a bit of Defiance. I was hesitant to really get into that game because it makes no sense without having done all of the others. But we did enough Defiance to really get a look at the way it plays and see some of its problems. Like its big combat focus. It focuses on combat more than any other game in the series. Ika is asleep. She's the one with the attack everything ability.
Move! Purify our souls!
Yeah, Defiance having such a big focus on combat is a problem when it has, like, really weak combat. It's not the weakest combat. And the series never had great combat to begin with. I'd argue, I've made this suggestion before, I don't think Crystal Dynamics ever learned how to do good combat. And she fell asleep, god damn it. Because if you go through most of Crystal Dynamics stuff, furthest back I know is Gex. And Gex was a platformer, combat was never the focus. Then they did Soul Reaver, and the combat is just kind of there. Soul Reaver 2 tries to focus on it a little more, and it's not great. Blood Omen 2 was done by a different team from the main Legacy of Kain series, and it has, in my opinion, the best combat of the series, which is kind of sad. It's serviceable combat, it's not bad. I've made a sword, just do the damn thing. It's not bad, I've seen worse. It works. It's focused. It's way more focused than the Soul Reaver game's combat is. It feels weighty and visceral. It works. I'm going this way. And then Crystal Dynamics were taken off Legacy of Kain, we never got another one, and they were put on Tomb Raider. And if you've ever played any of the Tomb Raider games that Crystal Dynamics did, the combat is garbage. The main exception to that is since the reboots. Where is it? There we go. Since the reboot, like the second reboot after Legend, the combat has gotten better because they basically just ripped off Uncharted. And like the combat in Uncharted did rip off the cover system that Gears of War did, but Uncharted kind of expanded it with melee combat and everything, which Tomb Raider doesn't have. But the combat in the reboot works because it's basically your cover combat that every game has done since Gears of War. It's there, it's uninspired, and it's really not the best part of the game. Yeah, I completely forgot Vice had an area attack that we'd got on him. I want to summon somebody. No. Oh well. But yeah, we end up with the case of Crystal Dynamics, in my opinion, never did great combat. And the fact that so many of their games have such a focus on combat is bad. It's like you played the Tomb Raider Legend games, Legend Anniversary. Is this going to be that guy again? It is. Oh. You play some of the Tomb Raider games, like Legend Anniversary, Underworld, and the combat is easily the worst part. Without the combat, it's a mediocre Prince of Persia clone, like Sands of Time clone. With the combat, it gets worse. Let's see how this goes. Doable, but he's got a lot of health. You know what? I should save up for Fina's regeneration spell. Silver, maybe? Like 12. 12. Awesome. That's a lot of damage. Ooh. Well, I guess I'm done talking about Crystal Dynamics and combat. For a minute. Unless I start talking about it again. They've got a pretty high counter percentage. Here we go.
Moons, give us your blessing.
You know, as the healer, Fina really does come across as the Aerith type. I sure hope she doesn't die. Nice counter. Yeah, green did less. green's definitely doing less. 200 per turn? Not bad. I'll have to remember that. I completely forgot that in the last fight. I keep forgetting everybody's special moves except Vice's and Ika's. Alright, here we go. Uh-oh. Nasty. Can Drachma finish this turn? Yes.
That was a close one.
Golden Mask. You know, in a bunch of ways, having different textures for the face to denote different emotions and stuff feels, in a bunch of ways, it feels more emotive than a lot of the facial animation from the PS2 generation, which is kind of interesting to think about. Okay, so what's the golden mask? Is it just something to sell? West of Sailor's Island, Piastol. I have to deal with that at some point, and that's not going to be easy. Golden Mask. A valuable treasure, so for sale then. Alright. I feel like the Zivelin Bane stuff should really be warned. They should really be warned about it. Considering how dangerous of an opponent he is, especially if you're unprepared, and that all you're getting is money out of it. Well, as far as we know. It feels like something you should be warned about rather than something you can stumble across. Okay, anything else? Oh, we're not getting onto that from here. There we go. What about you guys? What are you guys playing for yourselves at the minute? I don't mean to be, like, ignorant or self-centered about this stuff. I usually just don't think to ask these kinds of things when somebody asks stuff of me. What's this one? Bend and counter-attack for the crew. That's not bad. Mirror-like aura restores 10p, 10 MP. Remove beneficial effects from enemies. That sounds good. And considering that costs nothing, that's not bad. But I'm gonna go with this one. How is Dark Souls 3 going for you, Boom? You know, I need to get back to Nier Automata. I stopped playing it because I got bored of it. Because of all the travel time. But I want to give it another shot. And probably do that for the stream, actually. Dragon Quest XI, I need to actually start. I picked it up for Switch. Because I wasn't interested in how it was when it came out on PS4. I was going to wait for it to drop in price. But then they started announcing some of the stuff with the Switch version, like the orchestrated soundtrack, the ability from the 3DS version to switch between the 3D graphics and the 16-bit style, which I like. The extra character quests and stuff that doesn't exist in the PS4 and PC versions. So I waited for the Switch version. Now I have the Switch version, I've just not played it. So I'll get to that. And of course I did recently finish Dad of Boy. But I hope you're enjoying them. Hope you're enjoying them. Yeah, Nier Automata is a game I need to remember for the stream. I do want to go back to it, and the stream's as good a time as any. I don't want to do that. Ooh. I've never played Munch's Odyssey, honestly. I played Abe's Odyssey. I had a demo of it when I was a kid. And I've played it since actually getting the proper game. And it never really grabbed me. I've never been into that kind of cinematic, precision-based platformer. And since then, I've only played Strange Wrath for like 10 minutes, and that's my entire experience with Oddworld.
That wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I had the same trouble with Dark Souls 3. I tried to push through it. I didn't get into Dark Souls 2. It wasn't until the stream that I actually really focused on it. Oh boy. There we go. That was easier than expected. It wasn't until the stream that I really focused on it, and Dark Souls 3 also didn't really grab me the same way that 2 did. You know, I like this, that we can just go right back to the entrance and get right back to where we are. I'm looking forward to doing Dark Souls 3 for stream, but honestly, he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait a while. I want to jump into it right after Dark Souls 2, and I want to do Bloodborne first. Because Bloodborne came out between the two, so you know that should be fun. Oh no, there we go. So that one's defending.
Take this!
Ooh, a new weapon for Drachma. That's a substantial increase in attack power. I like that. Yeah, I can understand that. In all honesty, it took me a while to get into the first Dark Souls. And then I got into the first Dark Souls, and I did quite enjoy it. I pushed through Blighttown in one session, because, you know, Blighttown's awful. I came out of that with a headache because of the frame rate. And I was enjoying it after that up until... Sen's Fortress. But like Dark Souls 1 was kind of stop and start with me for a bunch of it. I stopped for a while after I got to Sen's Fortress because it's awful. This looks like a boss arena. After Sen's Fortress, after I went back and did Sen's Fortress, I stayed pretty focused on Dark Souls. Although, once we got to the Crystal Caverns, I lost a lot of interest very quickly. Right, I see how this is going to work. Predict which way he's going to go by which way he's facing. Yeah, honestly, with the way the stream went, I feel like I got really kind of tired of Dark Souls 3 because of the lack of the story. Right, so there's nowhere for it to go to the right, which means he's got to go this way or back the way he came. Yeah. Means I need to chase him into the dead end. Like, there is a positive to... There we go. There is a positive to a lot of the way Dark Souls sets out a lot of its lore. The implication, a lot of the ideas it puts forward are great. But it also means you're left with kind of nothing as you go through the game. Which can be kind of tiresome. A good story can be what drags me through a game that I've gotten kind of tired of, or keeps me from realising how repetitive its mechanics are. I think Astral Chain is probably a good example of that. Or Devil May Cry 3, actually. Compared to Devil May Cry 1 and 2, Devil May Cry 3 really pulled me in because of its story. And because Devil May Cry 3 makes the very smart choice of having its story have a constant presence. Oh, wow. Like, Devil May Cry 1, the story happens occasionally. Every few missions or so, something happens. It's kind of the same with Devil May Cry 2. Devil May Cry 3, at the start and the end of every mission, there's a cutscene that furthers the story. And it's a fantastic idea. Because it helps pull me through the hack and slash combat. Which is fantastic, but you can kind of get a little bit, I'm kind of done for the day with this. Like, it's easier to turn a game off if the combat is all that's there. Oh wow. But if the story is regularly there and regularly being pushed forward, it can be a good incentive to keep playing just to see where the story's going. But if it takes ages for the story to actually happen, then that can be a problem, if you get what I'm saying. Vina's injured and I still haven't healed her.
Over there.
Oh, this doesn't look good. Really? Paralysis with a name like Circle of Panic? Weird. Oh. There it is. Okay. So the idea for this... Attack. Attack. Heal yourself. Yeah, the Sacred Crystal will do fine, and attack. And then next turn, Lunar Blessing. Oh boy. Really not what I needed. This could be a problem. But yeah, like the regular story can be like the main thing that does it for me. Right, you do a Sacred Crystal on her then.
Let's try this.
Oh, might as well do Cutlass Fury now. What about Delta Shield? Not a bad idea.
Delta Shield!
And I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've used it in this game. Really? It didn't stop that? Really feels like there wasn't a point to it then.
Here goes!
Yeah, that is kind of a problem with Dark Souls as you go. And you know what? It's something I'll say Dark Souls 1 definitely did better than 2. It started off with a purpose for you. You get out of the asylum, which is fine, doesn't take that long, and then after that it's a case of ring 2 bells. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're told what to do, and you're told kind of why to do it. It gives you a goal, and it tells you why you're doing this goal. Which Dark Souls 2 didn't. Like, go and get the 4 Great Souls so you can become king. What does that actually mean? What is it? I think like, in a series though, like a singular series. Great. Devil May Cry is probably one of the better examples going forward from Devil May Cry 1 to 3. 1 and 2 to 3. And then 4 followed the same idea, and so did 5. The story constantly progresses with each level. At least Drachma's awake.
Here goes!
This should go better.
Move! Give me strength!
Okay, finish it, Drachma. Come on. Why do you keep doing that? Stop doing that. Thank you. Now we're gonna finish it. End this. Yeah, damn it. You know what? We got a quick look at it there, but we hadn't seen it before. Neat little touch. The expression on the face when they're confused or charmed is actually pretty blank, and I like that as detail. There we go. You know, I don't think that is actually a good thought. A game that you can only appreciate the second time round is a bad design. Cough, cough, the quiet man, cough, cough. You know, it's kind of hideous, but it does look like Fina. Raise the Destruction fell to punish those civilizations whose weapons, the Gigas, ran amok. But the Rains of Destruction didn't stop Grendel. Didn't change my mind about Dragon Water. I'm open to changing my mind about stuff, but I don't think it should take a replay for that kind of thing. Like, to go through the game once and then go through it again. It's like, I want to go through Final Fantasy 13 again at some point. Because I'm open to changing my mind. But even looking back on it more objectively, there's a lot of stuff that I still feel is bad design, and I don't feel like a replay will improve it. I suppose my main thing with going back to it is whether or not the story works better for me, rather than gameplay. There's a point. Where is the green moon crystal? Get him! Okay, you know what? That was kind of cool. I like that. Who are you? What are you doing here? So King Ixa'taka knew where the city was, knew where the green crystal was, the green moon crystal was. Probably still has it. Oh, that doesn't sound good. They're gonna summon Grendel to stop the Valuans. That's not good. Although, point that I do like about this is that we're not fighting we're not going up against the green giant Grendel, because the Valuans took the moon crystal off us again, which is nice. I've played games and seen stories like this before, where it's like, we have to stop the bad thing from happening. It requires this one artifact. You know, Final Fantasy IV is still the best example I can think of that. We need to get the crystals before the enemy does, before Golbez does. And then they just turn up and take it again. So I like this as a little more variety. The Ixa'takans feel pushed into a corner, and they had the green moon crystal all along, and so they summon Grendel to save their people. As opposed to us finding the crystal and losing it to the Valuans again. Because it also doesn't make our characters out to be idiots, which is another good thing. We made a mistake, we don't repeat that mistake. It's good writing. I like it. Materia's a decent example, but that only happens the once. And then Cloud breaks down, so there's a reason for that as well. When Cloud gives the actual Sephiroth Black Materia. New Vice Captain. Why is he the first Admiral? Because it becomes a good point, like I mentioned earlier, the rankings of the Admirals do not dictate how dangerous they are, how good they are at strategy, as tacticians, how fearsome they are. And here's something that I also like. This is the first time we see that the Gigas aren't all the same. Every Gigas is different, and I like that. Which might have been concerned that the green Gigas was going to look just like the red one. That Grendel would look like Requiem. That it would just be the Requiem fight again. Nice. That it would just be the Requiem fight again, but it'd be more powerful this time. And it's not, I like that. And the first Admiral proves once again he is an incompetent coward. We're gonna have to go and do something about him. Grey Fox! Colonel, that Gigas is Grey Fox! Unfortunately, we have actually gone over time now. And as much as it pains me to do this, I really want to go and deal with this now. We're going to have to leave this for next time. Oh, so you're saying Grendel isn't actually Grendel? Grendel is actually Klaatu in disguise? That's an interesting theory, Professor. I like it. I like the way you think. But that's going to do it for today. We're back 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time GMT on Thursday with the conclusion of the Ixa'taka storyline, where we go up against the Green Gigas Grendel or Klaatu. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody who joined the stream. Thank you so much for watching. I always really appreciate it. Special thanks to Bane, Professor, and Clem for joining the chat. I always really appreciate support, guys. Like I always say, the stream basically doesn't really do anything without the chat. The chat is the most important part of the stream, and I always really appreciate your support, guys. Once again, back on Thursday, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, where we'll be taking on the Green Gigas. And after we've done this, I completely forget the sequence of events. So that could be interesting. Thanks, Professor. Yeah, after we take out the Green Gigas, I forget the sequence of events. There's events that I know happen that I'm not going to talk about because they'll be spoilers, but I forget the order they happen in. One thing's for sure, though, we're going to explore more of the world. Because there's still... there's a Gigas for each civilization. This is the second. So we end up with a case of, we have the yellow Gigas, the purple Gigas, the blue Gigas. We still need to see those. And because this is Japanese media, we're gonna see those. That might sound like a spoiler, but the way Japanese media has always worked, in my eyes, is if it says something like this, it's almost always going to show it. It's a subversion if it doesn't. It's like in Dragon Ball Z when Frieza's like, when you find out Frieza has multiple forms, and you know immediately you're going to see every single one of those forms. Or in Bleach, when you find out about the Shikai and the Bankai, you know every time a character is introduced with an ability, you're going to see that ability before that character dies. And it's a massive subversion if it doesn't happen. Because that's how Japanese media is. Yeah, once again, thank you everybody for joining the stream. I always appreciate the support. Big special thanks to Bane, Professor, and Clem for joining the chat. That'll be all for today. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and take care.